Hey, what's up guys, Ash Ponal here, and I'm going to explain something I saw on the History Channel. The US government's plan in case of a zombie invasion, according with the CDC and the national, state, and local protection agencies. We're going to have a spider graph or relationship map. In the middle, our main point will be what the US government will do in a zombie invasion. The bottom right, as you may see, is the key. What the US expects, what the people do, what the US does, and what the Army does. We are also going to get another column of the people expect. The four colors and the fifth one, the U.S. expects will be blue. What people will do is green. U.S. does is red. Army does is purple. And what the people expect is orange. As you see now, you see we have created our three subcategories. We've divided it into Army, or the local, state, and federal government protection agencies, the government, and the people. To dissect this further, the secondary columns will be shelter and supplies needed by the people. To explain the lines according to the graphs, the Army is expected to provide protection. The government is looked up to by the U.S. government, and the people are supposed to be protected. The U.S. government is supposed to provide shelter, basic needs, and to provide supplies in any case of any crisis. To dissect the Army further, we put it into three other subcategories: the police, the Marines, or the National Guard, and the Navy. To dissect the government further, the government are expected to perform these two tasks at the bare minimum: to keep order and according with the Army, and to maintain peace in the country. The people we broke down into four subcategories: family, relatives, general public, and strangers. Relatives refers to anyone not in your immediate family. We've broken down the shelter and supplies column into two more columns. Shelter refers to a supermarket or a store, or a bunker, or a home. Supplies refers to the basic necessities: food, water, or a gun to protect yourself. Now, the U.S. expects the Marines and the Navy to provide order and peace in the country during the time of turmoil, to keep order in everything we do. The people expect the police to keep order and provide supplies to their communities, as well as what the Marines and the Navy do. What the Army actually does is they will abandon the cause most likely and help their family and relatives survive the zombie invasion, and not do what the United States government asks them to do. The U.S. also expects the Army to protect the general public instead of the families and their relatives, and try to keep communities together and stop the zombie outbreak. The U.S. does is they go to the government and attempts to keep order and peace with the help of the Army and the people throughout the crisis. What the people expect out of everything is they want the government to provide the shelter necessary to survive and supplies such as food and water, so otherwise known as the basic human necessities of survival: food, water, and ultimately shelter. What the people do is they will abandon strangers and the general public overall, and they will go and live with their families and relatives and gather supplies and find a shelter. Shelters such as a supermarket where they can get food, water, and ultimately find weapons or guns to fight the zombies. What the Army does is the Army might, in the other scenario that they do not officially break away with their families and relatives, as they will open a bunker, a military base, a hospital, which will provide the general public with food, water, guns, and medical supplies, and a place to live throughout the zombie invasion. The U.S. government also expects the people to befriend strangers and the general public to keep communities alive and fight back against a zombie outbreak in the case that there actually is one, to try to keep communities alive and strong. The U.S. also believes that doctors, or the CDC, the Center of Disease Control, will come up with a cure for the zombie outbreak or infection. This would be one of the U.S.'s ideas in their plan. It's the most stupidest thing the U.S. can think of. Partly one, doctors are also human, and they will possibly abandon the cause, as will the CDC will run out of supplies and possibly time, and it will probably all fall apart. Now to erase our board, so we can show you in word form if you did not follow very well with the picture form. Alright, now the U.S. government, emphasized in the blue, will expect the Army to protect the people, emphasized in the green. This is what the U.S. government expects out of the Army or the armed forces. This statement is a false statement. We will see why. The Army does protect, but its own families and relatives, not the general public. The U.S. cannot enforce this, partially because the U.S. government is collapsing because it cannot keep order and peace. So the plan for the U.S. zombie invasion, a rating, it will fail 9 times out of 10 because you put too much emphasis in people. This is an F- on the U.S. government's part for this plan. Well, guys, this has been Ash Ponal. Remember to comment, rate, and subscribe, and leave a like if you liked it. Feedback's always nice, and I am out, and have a great day, and kill zombies.